Hello everyone. So this is going to be a lesson for 29th of April. That's Wednesday. Okay, so hopefully some of you have, I can list out the names of those who have sent me the homework, and that was very disappointing. Fine, it's of no problem for me, because anyhow by the end of the week when I have to report, these girls are the ones who did the work. You will be responsible for whatever consequences which will come after that. As you know, though you are promoted to the next grade, but still you have something called the report card, and you have classwork marks for that, you have homework marks for that. So do remember that. If not, why will I keep saying do the homework, do watch the videos? I have nothing. If you watch, it's okay for you. If you don't watch, fine with me too. But it all depends on your classwork and homework marks for you. Fine. So I have no interference in that at all. So in who are the ones who did the home revision sheet? It was two girls from 7A. That's Jana and Judy, and Mayar and Noor from 7B. Mayar, Noor, and Dareen. So these are the girls who did the homework and they had sent me. Okay, other than that, there was no one. So out of all the girls from 7A and 7B, it was just these 5 girls whom I have been teaching all this long and who has been following and watching the videos daily. Fine. This is just for your information. Okay. So moving on with the discussion of yesterday's revision sheet. It was an easy one, but let's quickly just get warm up with whatever that lesson had to tell us. Right now, we all know this. This was for lesson 1. Identify each angle pair. What was angle 1 and 3? Angle 1 and 3 were transversal, because we know when set of lines is cut by a transversal, the angle forms are going to be special. So 3 and 6, they are going to be alternate interior angles, and 4 and 5 is going to be alternate exterior angles. 6 and 7 are going to be same-sided interior angles. Okay, so fine. So here we had to, in lesson 2, we had something called this corresponding angles postulate. If you had doubt in the revision sheet, of course, if you would have opened the book, this is the first thing which will come about the postulate theorem. So what does it say? If two parallel lines are cut by a transversal, then the pairs of corresponding angles are congruent. So the corresponding angles, that's like angle 1 and 3 are equal. Corresponding congruent means equal. Angle 2 and 4 are equal. 5 and 7 are equal. 6 and 8 are also equal. So that's what they meant. If a pair of parallel lines is cut by a transversal, so these are parallel, P and Q, and transversal is T. So the corresponding angles are equal. So this was all about corresponding angles postulate. Okay, now quick revision. Find each angle measure using the corresponding angles postulate. So we have to find angle ECF. So ECF. So they basically want this angle here. All right. So if you look at the picture, they had given, if you look at the diagram, they said this angle is 70 degrees, which means automatically this corresponding angle becomes equal. So that's also going to be 70 degrees. So that's why you have to say corresponding angles postulate. Fine. So DCE, that's you have to find DCE. So you are finding this angle here. So this angle, they did not give us any number for it, right? So, but they gave us this angle, that's ABE is 4x plus 22. Now you know, those who have solved the revision sheet, of course, know what to do. So these are corresponding angles, right? This is equal to this. So you have to write an algebraic expression here. So how are you going to write it? 4x plus 22 equals 5x. So you have to write that. Why? Because this angle is equal to this. So this angle is 4x plus 22 and this angle is 5x. So after that, all what you're going to be doing is solve this algebraic equation. So you will bring the x to that side, so that will become x equals 22. Okay, so is that the end of it? Of course not. We have to substitute it in this 5x because they want DCE. We only found the value of x, not 5x. So you multiply 5 with 22. So that's going to give you going to give you 110 degrees. Okay, so this is this was all about lesson number 2. Okay, so it's the same here, QRS. So they want you to find this angle, QRS. Now, if you talk about QRS, they are same-sided interior angles because they are like in the shape of a U. So they want you to find this. And I don't know how many of you remember. So QRS is same-sided interior angle. So same-sided interior angles, they add up to 180 degrees. Means these angles which are inside the U add up to 180 degrees. So to find this angle is 118. So to find this angle, you have to do 180 minus 118. So that's going to give you, okay, this is how you have to do, like x, this we know x is equal to 118 because they are corresponding angles. So either you minus 180 because they are angles on a straight line, their definition of linear pair, or you minus 180 from 118 because they are same sided interior angles. You are going to get the same answer as 62. Okay, so this was all the lesson for that. The next one is this: if a transversal is perpendicular to two parallel lines, all 8 angles are congruent. So if you remember, we had drawn something straight, like 2 straight and then 1 straight line cutting it exactly the straight. This one, what they are saying is this. I'll show you. So they are saying it as this. This is line, one line, and this is another line. Okay, I didn't share the. Okay, so this is one line and this is another line, and if it is the transversal line is straight up like that, the angles formed are going to be all 90-degree angles. So that's what they had said, that they all are going to be they are going to be, all 8 angles are congruent, means they are all equal. All the 8 angles are going to be equal. See, if a transversal is perpendicular to two parallel lines, so in the figure which I drew now, you can see that this is the parallel one and this is the transversal and it is perpendicular. So all the angles are going to be 90-degree angles. Okay, so without much explanation, because this was the basic idea, that's all. Okay, so let's move on to check the answers for the revision sheet. So this was your revision sheet, right? The corresponding angles postulate states. So again, here they're talking about the postulate. If you remember, there is a big difference between postulate and theorem. Postulates are, they are facts, like you cannot prove, they are already proven, so we just have to follow them. But theorems, yes, you can prove. So the corresponding angles postulate states that if two parallel lines are cut by a transversal, then the pairs of corresponding angles are, you can use 2 words, either you use equal or you use some mathematical term as congruent. Okay, so the corresponding angles postulate states if two parallel lines are cut by a transversal, pairs of corresponding angles are congruent or equal. Even equal is right. Congruent angles have, again, congruent angles means they are the equal angles, right? So congruent angles have equal measure or same measure. You can use any one word. Either if you say equal also it's correct, same also it's correct. Okay, now let's find angle 1. Now you have to find this angle here. So they said this angle is 140. So what is this angle going to be? It is also going to be 140. Why? Because they are corresponding angles. Okay, now same for question number 2. This angle is 70 degrees, which means angle 2, which is this angle. So they both are corresponding angles again. So that is also going to be 70 degrees. Why? Because they are corresponding angles. Okay. Moving to question number 5. Now this is what a little bit steps are needed here. That's all. So find x. So find x means you just need to find the value of x. That's if nothing else. So they give this angle to be 90 degrees. Make it a bit bigger. Okay, so this angle is 90 degrees, right? Which means the corresponding angle is also going to be 90 degrees. There is no change in that. So how are you going to solve this equation? I mean, angle now. They just want you to find x, nothing else. They did not tell you to find the angle. So what you're going to do is you're going to write x plus 15 is equal to 90. Why is it equal to 90? Because again, they are corresponding angles. So x is going to be equal to 90 minus 15, which is going to be equal to 90 minus 15 will give you 75 degrees. So x is equal to 75 degrees. Don't put the degree sign there. Okay, so it's going to be 75 degrees. Hopefully you must have got these answers right. Those who have sent me, yes, I have checked them and those answers were right, but the others, I have no idea what you all are doing. So do it and then check it. Fine. Then question number 6, it's the same concept again. You have to find x. So if this angle is 120, again this angle is also going to be 120, but they did not give us the number. They gave us x plus 30, sorry, x minus 30. Now that's mental math, because if this is 120, this is 120, so 150 minus 30 is going to give you 120. But always there is a mathematical way to do it, right? So what I'm going to do, x minus 30 equals x minus 30 equals 120. So x is going to be equal to 120 plus 30, right? X is going to be equal to 120 plus 30. So x is going to be equal to 105. In fact, you can solve it mentally too. You don't have to follow all this, but yes, it is needed. So x is going to be equal to 150 degrees. Okay, so let's move on to question number 7. Fill in the blanks to complete these theorems about angle pairs. So they're asking to complete the theorems. So if two dashed lines are cut, which lines are we talking about here? Always we are talking about parallel lines. So if two parallel lines, so the first blank is going to be parallel lines are cut by a, what is the line which is cutting called transversal, right? Transversal. Then two pairs of alternate, okay, transversal, then two pairs of alternate interior angles are congruent. So the two alternate interior angles are congruent. If two, now number 8, if two parallel lines are cut by a transversal, let me highlight this so that at least it will look different from the question. Okay, if two parallel lines are cut by a transversal, then two pairs of same-sided interior angles are, again, if the two parallel lines are cut by a transversal, then two pairs of same-sided interior angles are, they're talking about same-sided interior angles. So they are going to be what? They are going to be supplementary. Now, hopefully you have understood this. If two parallel lines are cut by a transversal, then the two pairs of same-sided means that angles which are inside the U. So they are supplementary. What does supplementary means? They add up to 180 degrees. That's why we call them as supplementary, right? Just now we solved one. I showed you one. The angles inside are equal. They add up to 180. So any angle which adds up to 180 are called as supplementary, which are angles on a straight line. If two parallel lines are cut by a transversal, again two parallel lines are cut by a transversal, then two pairs of alternate exterior angles. So the alternate exterior angles are equal, or you can use the word, the mathematical word congruent. Okay, so it's the same idea. If two parallel lines are cut by a transversal, then the alternate exterior, you know, the angles which are outside and the opposite, they are congruent, they are equal. Okay, now let's do this one. Give 2 examples of each kind of angle pair in the figure. Fine. Let me move this question to the next page. These are not the answers for you. Right. Is the challenge. Okay. So the next one is question number 10. Give 2 examples of each kind of pair in the figure. So this is the figure which they have given. Let me make it a bit bigger so that will be clear. So this is angle 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on. They want alternate interior angles. Now interior means inside. So they are talking about these angles which are inside. So they want you to give 2 examples, means you have to give them two pairs of each answer. Okay, not 1, it's going to be 2. So which are the alternate interior angles? Alternate means opposite, interior means inside. So angle 3 and 5 and angle 4 and 6 are going to be the alternate interior angle. So you have to write them as angle 3 and what happened? Okay, angle 3 and angle 5, and the next pair is angle 4 and angle 6. So angle 4 and angle 6. So these two are the examples which you have to give. Means basically they want the answer like all the pairs, that's all. Why has it gone to 9? Okay, now this one, alternate exterior angles. Now idea is the same, alternate means opposite, but they are asking about exterior angles. Exterior angles means the angles which are outside. So which are the angles which are outside? It's angle 1, 2, 8 and 7, because this 4 are inside, that 4 are outside, that's all. So which are going to be the alternate exterior angles? It's going to be, which is the opposite of 2? Angle 8. So let's write angle 2 and angle 8. Then which are the next two? 1 and 7. So angle 1 and angle, let's see, angle 1 and angle 7. So these two are going to be the alternate exterior angles. Fine. Now, same-sided interior angles. So same-sided interior angles, always remember, same-sided interior angles are inside the U, right? So which part is U here? Of course, this doesn't make a U. So the U is here. All same-sided, they are on the same side, but interior, they are inside. As we know, these are the angles which are inside. So same side means this two. So it's going to be angle 4 and 5, angle 5. Then the next one is angle 3 and angle 6. So these two are the examples for same-sided interior angles in this picture. Okay, that was a very easy homework. So as usual now, this will be your routine. I'll be uploading the worksheet. You'll have to do it and send it back to me. So I'll be uploading the revision sheet for lesson 3. Yeah, hopefully tomorrow, today. Yeah, for you it's today. Fine. So do that worksheet and send it to me. So, and keep checking your answers. So until I meet you in the next video, keep studying and take care of yourselves and stay safe.